Welcome back, everyone, and we are here to discuss all the Pokemon news that has come out in this past week. Damon, how you doing today?
Not too bad, and pretty good, and pretty excited with all the stuff we've got.
Dude, the whole world has become Pokemon again. I think someone commented that 2019 is the new 2016, which was the old 1998.
Yes.
When Pokemon originally launched, and that cannot be too true.
It's Pokemon fever, man. It's so crazy. It's been trending all day, and it's really cool to see it, be back alive.
So we're going to be talking about the Detective Pikachu trailer and give our thoughts on it, and just discuss how excited we are for everything that's been shown. And then towards the end, we're going to give our thoughts on Pokemon Sword and Shield, the new Generation 8 Pokemon game announced today. So,
hell yeah.
First off, the Detective Pikachu trailer. This had to be the most hype build-up trailer I have ever witnessed. It starts off with the keynotes for the Pokemon song, and just the little nostalgia trip in my head instantly triggered. I'm like, oh my god, like they're almost what we saw with Spider-Man Far From Home when they re-changed the Spider-Man theme song in that trailer. We got a taste of that, and then it just builds the music into I Need a Hero, which is just one of the greatest hype songs out there.
Yeah, it was just that whole trailer was just super hype, and I loved every second of it. The jokes were fantastic, and every single thing landed, and especially towards the end when they finished it off, it was just so good.
Oh yeah, I love what they're doing with Mr. Mime, because it wasn't they didn't really play it off well in the anime of when you're talking with Mr. Mime, he actually talks, where this one is no, he's a mime, he's going to mime stuff, what do you think he's gonna do? And it's you're not wrong.
It's true. It was just really cool to I love the dynamic between Detective Pikachu and Mr. Mime. Both trailers that they've shown, it's just, that's going to be a good scene.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, speaking with what other Pokemon that they showed off this trailer, I'm just going to read off a list of recently shown off Pokemon. Ludicolo, Machamp, Snorlax, Snubbull, Cubone, Flareon, Aipom, Golurk, Growlithe, and Arcanine, Charmander, Squirtle, Blastoise, Gengar, Loudred, and then at the end we got Mewtwo. Trump card.
Mewtwo was the moment. There was a moment in there that I kind of saw the hand, and I thought it was Mewtwo. I don't know if you know which moment I'm talking about, where it kind of showed the hand reaching out of the pod, and I thought it was Mewtwo, but I'm pretty sure it was the Greninja. Coming around the corner.
Yeah, I think it was the Greninja.
Yeah, and then I was kind of disappointed because I was it's just a Greninja. And then all of a sudden he freaking busts through the balloon, and I was like, holy crap, it is Mewtwo.
I don't think no one expected that.
Yeah.
If anyone expected that, you're lying to yourself and the rest of us.
Yeah.
That pretty much solidified any Pokemon fan that was semi-interested in this movie. You're going just because of that fact now.
Yeah. You need to see what he's gonna do in the movie, how he's gonna act, what he's gonna be. It's just so cool.
What his role is going to be. Is he the villain, or is he just another side character like Pokemon that has some kind of role? But it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, or does he just get pissed and bust through a Pikachu balloon?
Yeah, I mean, either way, I feel like he's going to have a Green Goblin moment like the first Spider-Man movie where he just destroys all the balloons, but it'll definitely be cool to see some Mewtwo making some massive explosions.
Yeah, it's going to be a good movie.
So it gives me some hope for this movie, because I know video game movies have a stigma for being crap, let's put it bluntly, but something that I've thought of in the last couple of days of why Detective Pikachu is different is because most video game movies, what they try to do is they try to take the entire plot of one game, or anime movies as well, the entire plot of one anime season, and try to condense it into one film, and you're going to clearly miss some points, miss some big moments that a lot of the fans of that franchise is expecting. Whereas Detective Pikachu, it's pretty much, okay, you're in the Pokemon world, but we're going to tell you an original story. So they're essentially making a regular movie, except some of the characters are going to be Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are seeing this and are making it anticipate of. This is going to be like the first video game movie that is actually going to be legit good. And I think that's what is exciting people.
Yeah, I'm glad that they decided to go this route, because when you always think of a Pokemon movie, you always have the standard Ash, you always have the standard rival or like bad guy or something like that, and then something happens, Ash saves the day. This is kind of going with the different plot, different story. Like we don't exactly know what's going to happen. All we know is that there's a really cute Detective Pikachu and this
he's so fluffy.
He's so fluffy. And this like jaded kid who is shunned as a Pokemon trainer that is going to try to save his dad, and that's pretty much all we know. And we know that it's going to be funny. Just because of Ryan Reynolds, but and like the scenes that they've created and like all the Pokemon just look so awesome. Like I can't gush enough about how great they look.
I wouldn't say they're like super realistic, but they're realistic enough to kind of like break the boundary. I'm like, I could see this in our real world, but they're not. I'm not sure if you've seen like realistic pictures online where they make the Pokemon look like grotesque creatures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm glad they did not go that route. They went in like thinking like, I honestly think they said, okay, what kind of personality does this Pokemon have? How can we design the Pokemon around that personality? And they just went on from there. And I think it's just coming out beautifully in every single example that we've seen so far.
Yeah, every single picture. I mean, I've already talked to you about like two of my favorite Pokemon of all time are Bulbasaur and Charizard, and the troop of Bulbasaurs marching through the water, that's like one of my favorite scenes, and I love it so much. And then Charizard looks exactly how I imagined him as a kid, and it's just so crazy awesome just to see this jig. Like I know a lot of people were talking about it. They're like, oh man, he looks too scary. I'm like, he's a freaking dragon. Like he is a dragon.
No. He's fire and flying. He's not a dragon.
Oh yeah, he's not a dragon type. But he's just so like, even in the anime he was rebellious and he was angry all the time, and he was but he was super powerful. Yeah, he was super powerful. And seeing him as the kind of the bad guy's lackey, like you could see it. Like he's just so like ferocious, and I'm pretty sure he's got a scar across his face. I don't know if you saw that, but
I wasn't sure if it's that or that was just the scaling that they did, but I'll double check.
Yeah, I think he's got like a scar across his face, and the way that it kind of seemed like it was setting it up, like there was like cage battles, going on, like underground cage battles. So I'm kind of hoping that's the direction that they go in. But it would be kind of cool to. I mean, it's just super cool to see Charizard, like freaking Charizard, and it's gonna be a hype movie. This is so good. So pumped.
Okay, well, enough fanboying over Detective Pikachu, because we got more Pokemon stuff to go over, and that is the Pokemon Direct today that announced Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield to release this late 2019.
Hashtag
So I think
Team
we can
Sword.
all agree, Team Shield, the original. So I think we can all agree this is probably coming out in November.
Yeah. If it doesn't come out in November, it's gonna be early, like first week December.
Yeah.
But like, I know I saw some comments saying that they were worried that it got moved from fall 2019 to late 2019, and I was like, it's still gonna be November, December time release. It's gonna come out in 2019 regardless.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually when we usually get the Pokemon games. So if there was a slip to the right on that, I'm not disappointed. I wasn't expecting anything in like September. So, but one thing I did notice right away was that the environment art style looks so good, and one thing that I saw was it kind of compared pretty well to Game Freak's The Town that they're releasing at some point this year. So I'm not sure if they tried playing around with environments in that game first and then try whatever they learned in there brought to Pokemon Sword and Shield.
You know, I thought something similar, but I also kind of thought that they took Town and Let's Go and kind of mixed them together. Like I think they took, like I'm almost certain that, you know, they're using the Let's Go engine, but I'm wondering if they're using the same engine for Town, and they're experimenting with both, and they're trying to get, you know, a somewhat of an anime style with Town, and then they already have the Pokemon style with Let's Go, and they're just kind of melding them together, and they're like, okay, this is what we're looking for, this is what we're going for. Because if you look at Town, that's almost exactly what a lot of the environment looks like. So I can definitely see where you can kind of see the art style from Town, but it's also got the, you know, Pokemon characters and everything, the sprites and the main characters. So.
What do you think of the Pokemon sprites? Like, they're almost the same of Let's Go. Were you a little disappointed that they didn't change those up at all?
You know, you kind of brought it up about redesigning, bringing up the similar sprites. They have, you know, 800 Pokemon already, and then however more they introduce in this particular world, like remodeling all of those Pokemon would just be too much to actually bring into a new game, especially if coming right off the tails of you know, Ultra Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, and then Let's Go. Like, redoing all of that would be a lot. Now I could see them, you know, adjusting some things, but I don't think anyone really expected a big jump.
Yeah, at first I was thinking, it looks the same, but then I had the same thought of that it would just be way too much effort to remodel every single Pokemon, because I'm assuming we'll be able to fill up the entire Pokédex up to that point, either be in the game where you catch the Pokemon or via trade, or maybe they maintain the Pokebank system. I'm not disappointed. I'm kind of happy that at least it maybe made the transition easier for everyone.
Yeah.
I know one thing you're hoping for, though, is better character customization.
That will be one of my biggest... I will still love the game. Don't get me wrong. I will still love the game to death, probably. But if there is not a lot of character customization, I'll be upset, just because, you know, it's we just came off of that demo of Daemon X Machina, and the customization down to, you know, the hair, the hair color, the face, the skin color, the eye color, like everything customized off of that. Like, there's no reason why it couldn't be in a Pokemon game. And I would just, that's one of my pipe dreams. So hopefully that gets
we still have plenty of time for them to show stuff off. Plenty of time. Hopefully that'll be one thing.
I was gonna say, what about you? What do you feel about the overall world?
I find it like pretty interesting. A lot of people saying it's based off of England, but I'm thinking it's Westeros. They even had the wall in the north with the snow. Like, come on, people. But then again, Westeros is based off of England, so I'm half right, I guess. Bit of a stretch, but I'll take it. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Just another world that we're going to explore. I can't wait to see more of it, and more of what kind of Pokemon that they're going to have. Yeah,
one of my friends from the UK, they mentioned if they don't have a badger type Pokemon, they're going to riot. Because they need a badger type Pokemon if they're going to be in England.
Or they need a corgi Pokemon with the Queen of England. Come on.
that too. the map seemed tall this time around. It's like on previous generations, it was kind of horizontal, and you kind of worked your way left and right, and but this one seems very tall. I'm kind of curious to see how they're gonna handle it, like whether you start from the top, start from the bottom, start from the middle, but it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah. So I think we can all agree that Sobble is the best starter Pokemon. So we are proclaiming that Heroes of Twilight will be Team Sobble moving forward.
No, we are not. We are not Team Sobble. This is something you've done on your own. It's a mutiny. But we know who really is the best. It's Scorbunny. And so
I'm sorry,
Team Scorbunny.
There's only one rabbit that has my heart, and that's Bugs Bunny. So
okay,
Scorbunny is going to have a lot to live up to in order to gain my respect.
all right. Well, Sobble can go cry in a corner somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Once he loses. So, but initial thoughts on the starter, like, what did you think, like when you saw them coming out?
So at first, when I saw Scorbunny like running up the clock tower, it seemed like he has like magnetic feet or something. Maybe that's just like running around as their introduction. But he seemed pretty interesting. Sobble, at first I thought it was just like, was it just like a little raindrop? But he looks more like a chameleon kind of thing. I swear he's going to have the best glow up out of all the starter Pokemon. People are going to be making fun of him now, but he's going to be the best looking like third evolution by the time we get there, and you're going to be all coming back like, oh, Sobble is the best. Never mind.
All right, let's wait until we see it.
Yep, but I got my hopes. I got my hopes. So, and then we have Grookey. He's just there.
He's just there. That's getting, where he's at for me too.
Out of the three, he's the one that's getting no love. Probably because he's the Leaf Pokemon, and not many people go that route, anyways.
Yeah, he's usually the least favorite. I will say there's a lot of speculation today, like over several things. So, Scorbunny, they're kind of all related to a sport, like found in the UK. Scorbunny, football, Grookey, cricket. He had his stick that he was patting on the bat on the rock, kind of like the cricket. And Sobble was water polo. But not only that is each of them, people were kind of wondering if they were hinting at their later evolutions. With Scorbunny, you talked about him being on that metal. What if he's a fire and steel type? And then Grookey, he was climbing up on everything, and he had rock. He was hitting on the rock and everything. They were thinking that maybe he is a grass and rock type.
Interesting combo.
Interesting, right? And then Sobble, he was invisible at the beginning, and then he appeared. What if he was a ghost in water?
You're just making me fall in love with this character even more. Like I want Sobble now. Like, come on.
No, it's all about the fire.
You telling me I could get a Gengar that's also water type?
Okay, you got me beat there.
You have fun with your rabbit.
Hey, I will have fun with my rabbit. Other than that, got a lot more than I think a lot of people were expecting. I think some people were just expecting logos, but we got actual gameplay. Gameplay with the little asterisk, game footage not final, starters, and then we got the region, and there's still so much more that we don't know.
Like, we don't know like how many new Pokemon there are going to be, if they're going to add some form of a different quote-unquote mega evolution like previous games, or Pokemon are going to have a Alolan forms. So yeah, there's definitely a lot that they have to show. And speaking of game like final footage not done, it just reminds me of when we first saw Let's Go to the first videos compared to the final release. I recall specifically when we see Mewtwo in the two footages, you can see a big difference in like the lighting and the colors and the animation. So that that's giving me hope that this game is going to look better. 9 months to finish it all up and put the cherry on top. And this game is definitely going to look a lot cleaner, a lot crisper. The environment's going to look a lot better. Maybe better draw distance, who knows? But what we saw today is not going to be the end all be all. It's going to be a lot better when we find it.
And I was thinking that today there were some moments where when it showed a couple of the Pokemon, they were a little blurry, and then a lot of the foliage when first stepping out of the house and everything, you can kind of see it was slightly blurry. But the thing is like this game is 9 months out. That's a lot of time to make sure this game is polished and looking good. And it's Game Freak. They have had a really good track record, even though it was on the 3DS. Like, there weren't really a lot of problems with any of their games. So their first transition into a big open HD Pokemon game, they're using as much time and as much resources, I'm sure, as they can to get this looking good and running really well. Well, that about wraps it up for our discussion video. We had a ton of info this week, and the Pokemon craze is real. And we're really excited to watch the new Detective Pikachu movie and get into Gen 8 with Sword and Shield. And tell us what your thoughts are on the trailer and the recent direct. Will you be seeing the new movie and picking up the game? If so, which one and which starter? Let us know in the comments below, and if you are new, like and subscribe. Bye.